The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Happy morning, students. I hope you all will be very happy that you are coming to school regularly and you are meeting your teachers and also you are having your friends with you. And see, this is the most crucial time for us. We have to use it productively because the time is all with us and this once lost will not come back again. So when the teachers are giving you the revision, maybe the focus point or extra notes for you, please take it wisely, consider it, use the time productively and do your work regularly. Do not absent yourself. Try to attend the class regularly so that you get your marks which is required for you. Because unless and until we take the effort, we will not get the returns for it. So I hope children, you will be having a good time for these 2 months so that you will be confident enough to appear for your board exam. Now last class we were dealing with a functional group. In functional group point of view, we have 2 important functional group for focus point. One is hydroxyl, the other one is alkoxy. Hydroxyl already I have taken for you. So let us get into the next 2, which is halo group and alkoxy group. When we talk about halo group, we know which period or which group comprises of halogens in the periodic table. Our 17th group, that is which is just before our noble gas, constitute the halogens, and those we have fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. Now these halogens, if you see, they just need only 1 electron to attain the noble gas configuration or to become octet. Now let us take an example where we have a 4-membered carbon chain where on the second carbon we have a chlorine, a halo group being attached. Now how do we name this compound? Now let us first write the parent chain. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Since it's a 4-membered carbon, I have to write butane with a word root and suffix. And at the second carbon, because if I am going to count from right, I get the position of the halo group at the 3rd carbon. So we will consider the left side numbering as a correct way. So here I will get chloro as my branch and put a hyphen and write 2. So it is 2-chlorobutane. So this is how we will be naming if we get a halo substituent in our compound. Now the next example, if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the word root for 5 is pent and suffix is ane because all are singly bonded. And if I see I have a branch which is bromo, so I put here bromo and I need to give the position number for bromo. I put a hyphen, start count from left to right and from right to left. So when I count from both the sides, I get 3 as a position of the carbon. So that becomes 3-bromopentane. So this is how we will be doing when we have to name a halo substituent in an organic compound. The next group which we are going to see and which is important in exam point of view is the alkoxy group. What is alkoxy? When we were talking about hydroxy, it means hydrogen and oxygen. And when I talk about alkoxy, it is oxygen and alkyl group. We know what is an alkyl group. It can be a methyl, it can be ethyl, it can be propyl, etc. So this oxygen when is joined with a methyl group, it becomes methoxy. when it is joined with the ethyl group, because ethyl we know there are 2 carbon atoms. So when it joins with an ethyl group, it becomes ethoxy. So methoxy and ethoxy are the alkoxy group. Now how do we give the IUPAC name? We call it as alkoxy alkane. These alkoxy alkanes are called as ethers. E-T-H-E-R-S, ethers. That's a common name given to this alkoxy group. So this naming alkoxy and alkane can be split into 2 parts. Say we have a question here, CH3O, CH2, CH3. Now how can I find out which is my functional group and which is my main chain? Always remember children, the longest chain. Either side of the oxygen we have the carbon atoms. So the side where we have the longest chain, more number of carbon atoms, that becomes the main chain, and the other side becomes a functional group. So if we take this example, on the right side I have 2 carbon atoms and on my left side I have only 1 carbon atom. So these 2 carbon atoms, for 2 carbon atom the word root is eth. So we write here ethane. So my main chain is ethane and this will be my functional group. Which is the functional group? OCH3. So OCH3. So with a methyl, an oxygen is present, so that becomes methoxy. So I write here methoxy ethane. I hope you are able to follow children. We will see one more example where oxygen is surrounded from both the sides the same number of carbon atoms. Here also I have 2 carbon atoms, here also I have 2 carbon atoms. So either side I can take as a longest chain and any side I can take as a functional group. Since there are 2 carbon atoms, we write here ethane and this becomes my functional group. What is the functional group? Ethyl plus oxygen becomes ethoxy. So it is nothing but ethoxy ethane. So this is how we will be writing the names for the functional group. Now we will be getting into the most important topic of this chapter, which is isomerism. Now we will get into the next important topic, that is isomerism. Iso, this word you would have been heard like isotope, isobar. What are isotopes children? Yes, isotopes are, we know 2 elements having same atomic number but different mass number. And isobars are 2 elements having same mass number but different atomic number. Iso means same. Now what do I mean by isomer? Isomer means 2 different compounds having same molecular formula but different physical and chemical properties. I repeat, 2 compounds that is having the same molecular formula but different physical and chemical properties. Such compounds are called as isomers and the whole phenomenon we call it as isomerism. Now isomerism can be broadly classified into 3 types. We have chain isomer, functional isomer and position isomer. Once if you can listen very carefully, it is very easy to understand, and this is a definite question for the board where you will be asked the definition and write an example, or structures will be given to you. You may have to find out the molecular formula and pair the isomers and find out which type of isomerism it is. So let us begin with chain isomer. In chain isomer, if you see, 2 compounds will have the same molecular formula but they have a different chain structure. Let us take an example, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. 1, 2, 3, 4, C4 carbon, so it is butane. Now the same molecular formula C4H10 is written like this, where you have the 4 carbon atoms arranged in a branched manner, where the IUPAC name becomes 2-methylpropane. And if you count the number of carbon atoms and hydrogen atom, that is the molecular formula, you get C4H10 for both the structures. But their name is entirely different, their properties are also entirely different. And what is different? The main thing is their structure. So 2 compounds having same molecular formula but different in the chain. This is a straight chain and this is a branched one. Such isomers are called chain isomers. Next, we will go to functional isomers. Functional isomers are those where two compounds will have the same molecular formula but they have different functional group. That is, the molecular formula may be the same but the functional group present will be different. Let's take an example where we have the molecular formula C3H8O. If you see this structure, this is propan 1-ol where hydroxyl group is attached to the carbon atom. If you see the second structure, you have a alkoxy group. This is hydroxy and this is alkoxy. Both of them having the same molecular formula. This is an alcohol, this is an ether, methoxyethane. So, two structures having same molecular formula but different functional group attached to it are called as functional isomers. The last, position isomer. From the name it is very clear that the compounds will have the same molecular formula but different in the position of the functional group. The functional group position itself changes. If you see example, when we were discussing alcohols, I gave you these two examples if you remember children, propan 1-ol and propan 2-ol. The hydroxyl group is attached to the first carbon in the first compound. The same hydroxyl group is attached to the second carbon in the second compound. Both their molecular formula is the same. We have C3H8O, C3H8O. Both are alcohols but the position of the hydroxyl group actually differs. Such compounds are called as position isomers and the isomerism they show is position isomerism. So, at last I just want to conclude by saying that if the molecular formula is the same and if they have a change in the chain structure, they are called as chain isomer. If the molecular formula is the same and there is a change in the functional group, they are called as functional isomer. If the molecular formula is the same and there is a change in the position of the functional group, they are called as position isomers. How do we get questions in our exam? They may give you few structures. They will ask you to find out the pair of isomerism and to find the type of isomerism in those structures. So, once you get all the structures, first on their side you write the molecular formula. When we write the molecular formula, we will be knowing the compounds having similar molecular formula, you can group them separately. Then look at their structure. If the chain is different, it is a chain isomer. If their position of functional group is different, they are position isomer. If their functional group itself is different, they are called as functional isomers. So, this is how you will be doing. Now, in the textbook, you have letters SS. Try to do those questions we shall discuss in the class here so that we will have a revision on naming the branched or unbranched hydrocarbons and also with the functional group and isomerism. With this, the 6th chapter is getting over. Let us begin the 7th chapter in the next class. Thank you children. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.